Hello everyone, Dr. Stephanie aka Saturn Creatrix is in the house. So I wanted to pop on here and talk a bit about Tantra, sex magic, alchemy, and also marriage. And marriage, yes, as it like a man and a woman coming together in a committed relationship, but also, you know, a lot of people talk about Yerogamos and the sacred marriage. And so we'll jam about that as well. And so here's what I want to say is that when you are in a committed relationship with someone, what's really awesome about it and the potential of what can come from that is, like in a great marriage, is that when you're with that person, it's like in perfumery, we have what are called, or even in alchemy, we have what's called an alembic, which is a special container. It's like a specialized, in that you put the ingredients in, and that is, in that pressurized container that you can't get out of. Keywords that you can't get out of, meaning it's sealed. It's like, I talk about put a ring on it, which is like when you fully commit, you marry something, you can't get out of it, right? And so, because the whole purpose of that is sometimes what happens is there's pressure that builds up inside of that container, that if there's a leak and or if you get out of it, then you forfeit the alchemical gold, right? The process of turning the lead into the gold. And or in perfumery, you're not, it's first of all like the essential oil, the absolutes will become contaminated. So the quality of those perfume ingredients are either it's not going to happen and or it's going to get contaminated. So this happens in relationship as well. Okay? So when you're with someone and you're in a committed relationship, what alchemically it allows for to happen is for every area of your life to improve and get better. You start looking hotter. People, this is something that I want to say this. Like, a lot of people ask these questions to like Cham and I, how come, we don't look like we've aged? How come we look like we're better, like we're in better shape than ever? Which, by the way, if you didn't know, I'm 40, I have 3 children, my husband, he's older than me, and he just like, oh my God, he's so fucking hot. And like, why is this? It's because when you're with someone, you're not, like a lot of couples, what happens is once they quote unquote get the catch, right? They kind of like stop showing up for themselves. This is why you see this so many times when people break up, and it's like after they go through a breakup, they like look so much better because they're realizing like where they abandoned themselves, where they got lazy, where they kind of got complacent, where they started getting boring, right? And start just doing the same things over and over again. And like, it's like a stagnation of the soul that occurs. And so, but when you're not doing that and you're continuing to like really show up for yourself and your partner, which this is something like I can go on like a whole other tangent about, like the difference between, just like love and true love, or even romance and true love. Like you come to a relationship for the loving that person, right? Not for like what they're going to complete within you and or what you can get out of it, right? It's you want to bring your best self to that relationship and or to that person. And so like, and I know everybody logically thinks this, and you think that you know this, but then when you're actually in the relationship, that may not be what happens. So coming back to what I was talking about is when you're in a great relationship, every area of your life just fucking gets better. You start looking hotter. You start becoming more beautiful. I had this conversation with a girlfriend the other day, client. she messaged me. She was just like, oh my gosh, like now I know what you're talking about. Now that I'm in love and I'm with this guy, it's like we're getting hotter. Like we look better and we get hotter. That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get healthier. You're supposed to get hotter. You're supposed to get richer. This is why I call it your rare, rich, rebel, romance, fairy tale fantasy. I know that was a fucking mouthful, but that's what it is, right? It's like it gets to be like that. And if that's not what's happening, then what we need to do is, number one, you need to look at where, number one, there's perhaps some leaks going on in the relationship and or with yourself. There's a lack of containment, perhaps, and or you're, like I referenced before, you're not actually showing up for yourself and or for the relationship. So there's maybe some codependency going on, there's some avoidance going on, there's some complacency going on, and or you're stuck in a rut, right? Like you're in that routine, and you're a little bit bored, right? Like you're bored because, and I said with love, you're being boring, right? Relationships are an adventure. They get to be an adventure. So coming back to the alembic metaphor, right? Like when you're in that pressurized container, this is where you're turning the lead into gold. And also with Tantra, like when you're actually practicing true sex magic and Tantra, and you're not holding anything back from your partner, right? Like the intimacy, you just keep on getting more and more intimate and more open and more hot and more honest, and the sex gets better, right? Like everything gets to get better. So if that's not happening, it's just, there's no shame in it. It's just, there's some kinks and or there's some places in the circuitry that needs to get worked out. And actually that is what your partner, and you may not realize this, but even all of like our fantasies and our turn-ons, our secret taboo hidden desires that maybe you don't even know about, maybe you're too shy and or whatever, you're not being honest with yourself about them. When you're not making that unconscious conscious, that's where these areas of sexual tension and or even fights and potential ruptures will happen in a relationship. And this even shows up in like turn-ons and like where your partner naturally wants to fuck you. I'm telling you, and this is all anatomical, right? Like for those of you guys just coming in, popping on, like I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine, so like and I've been doing hands-on healing, energy work for over 30 years. Like these are all things that you can see, I can read, and in relationships, this is one of the things that I help people start to look at and spot so that they can start it's like, imagine a hose, right? And you're watering a garden, but there's kinks in the hose. Right? It's not that there's anything wrong with you. You're not missing anything. It's never that there's not enough or that you're not enough. There's just places where there's blocks and kinks in the hose that get to open up, and then more is available, right? Like more than you ever thought possible before. So here's what I want to say. Right now, if you didn't know, I have the Bombshell Challenge going on. It's 30 days. The first two riffs in and of themselves, like if you actually do them and you do them and you take them all the way, like that is worth the program in and of itself. Not to mention there's so much valuable, like everything that I've been talking about here. If you're into sex magic, you value being hot, being sexy, being turned on, like the esoteric occult beauty secrets, even astrological things are in there as well. You'll love this challenge. It's a great way to like have your first, if you haven't worked with me before, or even if you have, you've never heard anything like this before. So if you have any questions about it though, feel free to send me a private message, but it's available in my shop. and or if you want to work with me one-to-one on like a mastermind level or even like pure mentorship, come get seen. Like live your life like a fucking adventure fairy tale, working with the astrological rites of passages, working with glamour magic, which by the way, how are you guys liking? This is one of my come get seen. This is specifically for Mars, the rite of passage that's happening with Mars, traveling through a very special part of the sky called the Via Combusta, and right now Mars is in Aries. So the leading archetype of the STARDISCO brand in 2025, for those of you guys that have been with me in Meet the Muses, you'll remember, is the Kitsune, the vixen shapeshifter par excellence, the archetype for the Venus cycle that began back in March. So this is another way that I roll, by the way, is working specifically with archetypes. Not just like, you know, oh, the queen and, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like the queen and the magician and or the star and or the goddess or whatever. Like this is like, guys, I had this chick message me the other day. She was just like, I was online looking at archetypes and they're so like boring and flat. She was just like, I need some of you in my life. And so if you're looking for like that, right? Like I'm not talking about like mainstream. We don't do mainstream chat GTP, cornflake astrology here. We do, this is out of the box, Jack out of the box magic and medicine. So working with archetypes that you embody via glamour magic, and then you also understand them as a character, right? Like, so that's why this is come get seen. Like your life gets to be like a fucking movie, right? You are the main character. There's different roles, there's different characters, there's different scenes. And so this is so that you're not like going through your life doing the same shit all the time, but you are the myth, right? Like your life is a mythic fairy tale. And so if you want to roll with me like this so that you live your life like an adventure, send me a private message, and or you can check out my sales pages for my different offerings right now. The 2 entries and pathways, like I said earlier. Well, actually there's 3 right now. My bombshell challenge, which is self-paced, pre-recorded. You can do this on your own, right? And or my mastermind and or private mentorship. So that's my message. If you're new to me in my world, say hi so that we can connect. I'd love to. And if you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments. But thanks for stopping by. I hope that you guys are enjoying these. And I'm going to be coming on and doing a bit more. All right. Bye.